I think like.
And we're back. I've got the legends back. Finally, people. I promised you. And obviously, with what's happened with Arsenal, it's all fun and games, man. Big up Kenny Ken and DJ B, man. What are you lot saying?
Hey, you know what? You know what? DJ, you first, mate. You first.
No, go on, man. You go on.
The show's all about you guys, man. Just interject, do what you want to do, man.
It is, right? I don't know where you were, DG, but me and DJ B had one of the. I can only describe it in one way to you. It was before, you were born in '95, but let me tell you something now. The best atmosphere I've ever seen at an Arsenal stadium was 1988 when we beat Everton 3-1 in the second leg of the Littlewoods Cup to get to the final. We were playing
Wait for my time.
Highbury was rocking that day. It was 51,000 fans. It was absolutely rocking. There were people dancing in the streets. People, like hugging and kissing everyone. And if you went to like the town hall, it was like an absolute. It was the best atmosphere I've seen at Highbury. I don't think I've ever seen an atmosphere at Highbury and Emirates since that day until yesterday. That I still think that 1988 that was the best atmosphere before, during, and after a match. But this is close. This is close. You had to be there to see it. Was it second?
Would you have it second? Because it says
you
mentioned
100%. Second. This is a close second to 1988. I've never been in this place where I was 16 years old and the hairs on the back of my head, because I had more hair than I have now, as you can see. But I'll tell you what I think now. Yesterday was something else. You got to the Emirates Stadium and it was packed. DJ B will tell you. It was like...
you lot paint a picture for us, man, because a lot of us weren't there and whatnot.
Thousands. And when you got into like the stadium, the noise, the crescendo noise, we never stopped. There was no silence during the match. No silence.
Big up everyone who attended, man.
And then afterwards, one of the best atmospheres ever. I'll tell you one thing, right? You know when we scored the goal, my glasses came off. And every time I went for the corner, I took the glasses and put in the case. There's this guy behind me called JB. I love it a bit. But when you score, I thought I was bad. But he's terrible. The glasses flew off and went, oh my God, my glasses. I've only got new one. I actually caught them. Wow,
Kenny.
I wear a flat cap. I take the flat cap off because I know I'll lose it and I won't get it back. But now what I'm going to do is that whenever we score, especially the last game of the season, if we win the league, I'm going to put the glasses in the glasses cap. I was actually toying with the idea of not wearing my glasses. And my mate went up to me and said, Ken, you wouldn't be able to see properly with that.
Yeah, man, you need to be able to see the game.
I know. And I tried them as soon as we kicked off the second half. I said, fuck this, put the glasses on. I just went. So I said, if we score, my glasses case ready.
Your first reaction's got, yeah.
But afterwards, man, it was the best. I lost my voice. But DJ B, it's your turn now.
It was just, it was amazing. Come out of Ivory's into the station, and you could hear the noise where the bus was coming in on the bridge, and the noise, we could hear that walking down to the pub where we met Dan Potts and everything. You could hear the noise, so you could hear the build up, the atmosphere erupting. Obviously, then bumped into Kenny, and then we was walking under the bridge, and the Ashburton Army was doing their thing, and it was just a proper European night. You know them European nights that you see in Madrid and Anfield and all these great stadiums where they have a proper European night? It was that and some, Everything was cheered. Every tackle was cheered. Every time we touched the ball was cheered. Everyone was up for it. The fans the fans really played their part last night, and it was
fans.
just a great atmosphere. And I agree with Kenny. I remember the Highbury Everton, where we got to the final. That was absolutely crazy that night. That was bonkers. But yeah, it was something special about last night. And yeah, I've had to keep the police from my door, DG, because you're not allowed to celebrate. Apparently,
you're not allowed to celebrate. We can't celebrate, man. You know how it is being an Arsenal fan.
Because we've got to the situation now in football where it's diabolical.
You can't live in the moment.
Ex-professionals should know better, because football's all about moments. Football's all about being in the right place at the right time. Whether you're a player scoring a goal or whether you're a fan celebrating success. And for them to come out with, oh, you can't celebrate and all of this nonsense is absolutely crap, because they moan about players can't celebrate goals now because they get booked and everything else. And because of VAR, we don't know whether the goal stands or whether it's allowed or whether it's disallowed. So that's put on hold. And now they're trying to tell fans that you can't celebrate. Well, let me tell you this, right? The reasons why we celebrate was 20 years of emotions. And I keep saying it, and I've said it on your show, for a club of Arsenal's stature, our record in Europe is absolutely horrendous. It's horrendous for a club like Arsenal. So when you get to
than anything.
Yeah, so when you get to a Champions League final, it's going to be celebrated. It's going to be celebrated. And I'm not going to feel guilty just because some pundit on Sky Sports or Talk Sport or anywhere you want to
wait 6 months and then they want to take it out.
I'm not going to feel guilty about celebrating it. And the players are going to celebrate it. They've been under a huge amount of pressure, these players. Huge amount of pressure.
Fact.
And they're right to celebrate. And not only that, with all the crap that's going on in the world, why can't you celebrate a sporting occasion? I think it's absolutely horrendous what they come out.
And you pay your money, and when it goes left, you moan. So only you should be able to celebrate when you're happy with your service.
Yeah, and it was buzzing. I mean, the stadium was absolutely buzzing. The football match in itself, I'm going to be honest, it weren't a spectacle.
We'll get into that in depth, man.
Again, when the dust settles, we've got to talk about the bigger picture. We've got to keep it real. We've got to keep grounded. We've got to keep our feet on the floor. There's a big game coming up Sunday, so we can't get carried away. But we'll enjoy the occasion. We'll enjoy the occasion, definitely. And when you're going as a fan week in, week out, and it was nice to see the tifo at the proper end of the stadium this time. The East Stand.
Facts.
See where Overland and Sea is the letter A. If you follow that letter and go up a tier, I was right behind it. So I didn't see the front of it. We saw the back of it. But it was nice on the semi-final that they put it in the right place for a change. Which no, but listen,
you lot sound happy, man. Go on, D.
I'm not one for it is nice and it puts the occasion more, but I'm not one for tifos and fireworks. But as for celebrations,
we need that more, man. Let's make nights like that a minimum for you that pay money, man.
Do you know what, right? But I'll just finish on this. I don't hear when Liverpool or any other club get to a major final and they're celebrating, I don't hear the same response coming from pundits and media and all of that. I just don't hear it. I don't hear it. When it's Arsenal, it's like, well, you can't celebrate. And
that's why we need to win, so we can celebrate. They leave us alone, man.
I just think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy. As I say, we've all got our different opinions on certain players and managers and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, on occasions like this, we all need to celebrate and embrace it.
And again, life is too short. Like you said, man, like live in the moment, celebrate. Every Arsenal fan can see we was happy with yesterday. Obviously, today's a new day. We need to focus on West Ham and actually getting the Champions League over the line. I do have a question for both of you lot, though. Like straight off the bat, like, can we win the Champions League?
You know what?
And I ask that as two men whose footballing opinions I respect and quite balanced. This is therapy more than anything, man.
20 years ago, we were playing. I thought we were the best team in the Champions League. If you remember that know,
the whole run to it. No
you
one
know,
gave us a chance.
whole
We done
run,
it. All we could.
you know, the way, especially when we got the knockout stages, we hardly conceded a goal. We were the best team in it. But the thing is we played one of the best teams in the world at the time, Barcelona. They had Ronaldinho, they had Deco, they had players like you know, Henrik Larsson was coming off the bench. They had the great manager in Rijkaard. They had, you know, they had really like Ludovic Juli and Adeto. You know, it was a team of stuff. Van Bommel, he played in that game for Barcelona. That was a proper team. And as well as you're playing, excited as you are, you're thinking, we've done all that great work. We've been the best team in the tournament, and then bloody hell,
and nothing to show for it.
And we were handicapped when Jens got, like I said, got sent off. I still think I still want to kill the referee. Wherever you are, stay away from me. I've still got these big hands. I'm going to strangle you. Bruno Hauger.
You don't want to buck into
kids are watching. I'm not going to say what I think of him. If I ever get my hands on him, I will absolutely kill him with hate. I will hate the man. I hate the guy. One of the worst referee performances in my life. I've never seen such. I always thought you lose. If you lose, you lose. But to lose like that with one of the most corrupt referees, I could kill the guy. I could kill him. But that I've got to get over that. You're asking me now. We're in a situation where we're playing against two teams, right, who are playing football that's out of this world. Football that's out of this world.
Facts.
You know, I personally think PSG would be too strong for us because of simple reasons. And it's not digging at stuff. So I think we've got the team to do it. But the thing about it is that what PSG do really well is that they don't give it. They will, even if you want a football match against PSG and you want to go toe to toe with them, they'll murder us because of those players.
Their football doesn't make sense.
I hope Hakimi isn't fit because Hakimi is part of the problem. You know, you got Mendes at left back. You got Hakimi. Overload. And then if that's not right, you've got Dembele, who doesn't know where. I don't even know whether he's right footed or left footed. I don't know.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Anyway, Zaire Emery, Kvaratskhelia, Vitinha Mendes, Vitinha Neves.
They got ballers, man.
You know what I mean? And even the goalkeeper, he comes for every cross. So where's the weaknesses there? And then you got Marquinhos in defence, who defends like he's no man. You think Gabriel defence is one of the best in the world? Well, Marquinhos is as good as him, or probably better.
No, come on, he's not better than Magalhaes, man.
No, Marquinhos.
Man.
He's not. No, Marquinhos is better. You know why Marquinhos is better than him?
At what though?
On the ball. They're both equal. But
you ain't seen Magalhaes recently. I know it's been a while.
No. On the ball.
Nah, I hear you.
Did you see that performance at Anfield?
Yeah. No.
Marquinhos. And that's it. But then you got Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich play a high line.
Their football makes more sense for us, man.
And then what will happen with their high line? You've got Upamecano and Kim. They play the high line, so you know that they will give you a chance.
In great form.
The problem is, we haven't got real pace in their side, except for when Saka's on it and when Martinelli plays. So if you play in the final, you've got to play Martinelli.
What about Noni?
Over the Dibby Dobbly, because Dibby Dobbly is the better player, Trossard. But if they're playing that high line, you've got to play Martinelli, right or wrong, because they're going to play the high line.
Because he's going to get in behind, and you hope he wins the 50-50 foot race.
Bayern, they're going to have Diaz. They're going to have Elise. They're going to have Musiala. Harry Kane is probably going to get the Ballon d'Or if they win it. They've got the best goalie in the world. They've got a goalkeeper who's just as good as, who's still, for a lot of people's money, slightly better than Raya, although Raya is one of the best in the world, but he's still world-class, Neuer. So they got the kind of attacking players where in the midfield, plus they've got Conrad Lima, who's the best number 6 in world football for me. Conrad Lima.
About that. Kenny, I don't know about that.
No. If you watch Bayern Munich, watch Bayern Munich in this tournament, watch the game tonight and see Conrad Lima.
I'm not saying he's not a baller, but best 6 in the world is a mad shout.
Conrad Lima is one of the
That's a
best
serious
number
statement.
sixes in the world. And no one talks about Conrad Lima. So they've got all of that. Then I didn't even mention Alfonso Davies. Didn't mention him, did I?
Saka can
He's
cook
no
him, man.
injury. So we've got all of that. And this is what we've got to cope with. Because
It's
that's
a 50, like this comment says, Kenny, it's a 50-50.
Oh, yeah, finals are 50-50.
I hear you, you're not wrong, but it's a 50-50.
But what I'm trying to say is that I'm going back to my time in Paris when we were the best team in the tournament. And on the day, Barcelona turned up. They went to goal down and they turned up. And that's one of the things is that when you look at those problems, they're genuine problems. They're going to pose more problems for us than they posed for us in November when they didn't have Musiala, didn't have Alfonso Davies, and they didn't have Diaz through suspension. Doesn't mean we're not a good side and we can't cope with it. I'm just saying, what's your poison, DG? What's your poison, GJB?
No, but for what it's worth, Kenny, I'm with you. I would rather play Bayern. Like, I don't really want to play PSG.
I would. And, you know, boy 10 Dio is right because we know we can beat them. But
yeah, but the dynamics in the final are very different.
The dynamics in the final are different. They're not going to have the same players that they had when we played them at the Emirates. And since then, remember they've only lost one game. We've won all that. We've been unbeaten. And Elise
Champions League.
Since that game, Elise's taking his game to another level.
Yes,
to take to another level. So this is a situation where this is what's the best poison.
Bayern can be good, in my opinion.
What's your poison?
But you got to take chances.
I think with me, both teams are elite, aren't they? PSG and Bayern, let's get it right. They're elite teams, but at the end of the day, it's a final. We have to play to our strengths, and let's be honest, our strengths that have got us to the final, and our strengths that have hopefully, will win us the Premier League. And I've said it all season: is not our attacking prowess. It's our defensive unit and our solid defensively. I believe we've got the two best centre halves in European football, personally, in Saliba.
I don't think that's
Gabriel.
a matchup.
And I just want to shout out about Saliba because I know everyone gets the plaudits, Gabriel, Rice, and everything else, and rightly so. But Saliba is an unsung hero. What that guy does,
starting to be underrated,
and the calmness he brings to that defence on a weekly basis goes unnoticed. And he's getting rated 6s and 7s and all of this. That guy yesterday was phenomenal. That guy yesterday was phenomenal. But look, let me just say, so if we're going to lift this Champions League, we have got to be solid throughout. And if we stay solid, it might not be pretty, but teams are going to find it hard to break us down. And there may be a little incident whereby we can get them on a break or we can get a free kick on the edge of the box. We have to take that chance. Or anything can happen. But when the chance comes, we've got to take it. Bit like last night. There weren't many chances. Both keepers weren't really troubled. I don't remember both keepers making any saves of any sort, apart from Old Black, where he palmed it in front of Saka. And Saka got the tap in. World class. And but to be honest with you,
he's world class. We'll get on to that.
I'm going to be honest with you. Arsenal football team on their day defensively are a very, very difficult team to beat.
Right? Nasty to break down.
We may not be pretty, we may not be brilliant going forward, but on our day we're very, very hard to beat. And teams like Bayern Munich and PSG that like to play on the front foot on the final third may find it a little bit difficult to break us down. However, what worries me is going forward. If we do need to score going forward, we're still trying to find our way. Gyökeres has come into the game a little bit more, and that's because, and I've said it from day one, Zubimendi's been taken out of the midfield. Skelly's come into midfield, which has allowed us now to be more on the front foot. That's a fact. It's no surprise Gyökeres has had his two best games for Arsenal since Skelly's been in midfield. Let's be honest. That's only what the eyes can see.
He played a lot more direct as well. Yeah, then you throw in the Ezes and
but the left hand side is still hit and miss. And if Saka don't hit form or he's injured, there's a problem with the other guy coming on. Because let's be honest, let's not beat around the bush. Let's not be nicey because he wears an Arsenal shirt. Noni Madueke is an absolute terrible football player. Right? He's not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. and it's an insult that he even gets an England shirt, in my opinion. But there you go. He's not good
I'd rather
enough.
Max, but
we can't go into a Champions League with Martinelli on the left, Noni Madueke on the right against PSG or Bayern. That's not going to win you a Champions League in my book. So we've got to rely on our strengths, and our strengths is midfield, Declan Rice, the back four. I'd go with Nkapé at left back, not anyone else. I'd keep it solid, and that's what might get us through. And then we hope that we get moments in the game where we can take our chance. That is what was going to get us through. We're not going to blow them away. We're not going to get on the front foot. We're not going to play all this beautiful football, free-flowing football, and go toe-to-toe with them. Because if we go toe-to-toe with Bayern or PSG, they're going to pick us off.
It's a final. Anything can happen, but it's a nasty
game.
So
unfortunately, although I've been banging on about I want to see beautiful football, against PSG and Bayern Munich, I don't think we're going to be allowed to play that, because I don't think that's our strength. And that's what's got us where we are now. So, yeah, anything can happen in the final. Anything can happen in the final, and I've seen it. I've seen worse teams than Arsenal lift the Champions League.
That's what pisses me off.
Let's be real. That Chelsea team that lifted the Champions League that season weren't twice. Yeah,
both years.
I mean, you know, I've seen worse teams than Arsenal lift the Champions League.
We need to start doing that, man.
You know, look, I said, and I also said it. I said it at the start of the season on you. I think I remember saying that this team was built for the Champions League more than the Prem.
Both of you said it, because I remember Kenny making the point about Zubamendi as well and tying it in.
Yeah,
both of you
when we was having the discussion about what would we rather win, the Champions League or the Prem, I said that this team is built for the Champions League because of its defensive unit.
And look how life has turned out.
And the way we frustrate teams, and the way we keep the ball, and the way we don't get overloaded on down the flanks. So I just thought that this team is more built for the Champions League rather than the Prem. The fact that we're in for both now is even better.
Surreal,
but
man.
Listen. When the dust settles and the celebrations are over, it means nothing if you don't go ahead and win it.
Yeah,
simple as that.
And I don't want to lose to Champions League.
Let's be honest. It's just a brilliant day out. If we don't win it,
I don't want that no more.
You're walking out of there like we did Wembley a couple of weeks ago, and it's not nice.
It was. I second what you said. Coming out of Carabao Cup final, you know, trust me. If you thought that Arsenal fans, you know, and Man City fans didn't take it seriously, you should have seen the faces of some of our fans when we walked out.
Naturally.
There was anger, disgust. Some fans were close to tears. I was actually devastated because
of the way we played as well in that final.
Yeah, and even if we played when we lost, I hate losing. But the thing about what we got now with Arsenal is that people talk about over celebrating. Well, Wayne Rooney is a very curious man. He's what I say about Wayne Rooney, he's a very peculiar looking fella.
Well, you don't like Rooney? I think he's one of the better players.
The reason why I've got beef with him is
because you got beef with Rooney. He's actually
celebrated. Come on,
Wayne Rooney.
I don't know. Has he said that?
Wayne Rooney.
That's his first miss then.
Wayne Rooney said that he wants Arsenal to win the title. And he said a match of the day that he thinks that Everton would go and we're going to get some points against Man City. And he says that he was also saying that he doesn't know why everyone hates Arsenal. Arsenal's a great club. Then yesterday I heard when I was coming up the ground that he said we over-celebrated. So what's your angle, Wayne? I understand to a certain extent where he's come from because he's played for Man United. And he's won it and got to a final as well. If still these days, you know, get there. And I understand, but you've got to remember that. And I say this with great harsh. Right? I say this harshly. And don't take this wrong way, but hear me out. We're a very small, big club.
Nah, man.
No, let me finish. That's why I said let me finish. I knew you were going to go and think. If I told you it was a whiteboard, you would say blackboard. That's why I said let me finish.
Kelly, I don't agree with you. You're quite a logical man.
Let me finish. What I'm trying to say, when you look at our record for a big club like us, hasn't even got a Champions League. Has only been one Champions League final.
We've underachieved in Europe.
Hear me out. We went 17 years from 53 to 70 without winning anything. We didn't win the league for 18 years between 71 and 89. We haven't won the league since 22 years, since 2004. Yet we took ourselves out of being a big club. But in terms of like our trophy run, a big club like us shouldn't go that long without silverware, especially European silver. Our record in Europe is so negligible. It's bad. Even that
Filled with
down
more
the
pain,
road
as I
got
say.
better records. And what I'm trying to say is that when I hear things like trust the process, you're spoiled by success. What success? What success? You know, everyone says that
I'm agreeing with this.
everyone's now, peppering up Arsene Wenger's last year's Arsene Wenger's reign. He says, "Oh, at least he won trophies, FA Cup." But hang on here, we wanted the man out. And what I see,
I didn't.
I've been in a podcast when someone said that Arsenal fans are ungrateful, and I said to the guy,
That's gaslighting.
it's the panel, right? You can't be an Arsenal fan with a Portsmouth mentality. And I don't blame Arsenal fans for that. The way Arsenal has been built, we hold more pride in our existence in the top flight of football since 1919 than we do our 13 league titles and our 14 FA Cups. We're more proud of the fact we've never been relegated.
Nah, who are you talking about? The actual like people working at the club or us?
Club, the actual club.
Oh, now we've no.
Right?
Okay.
The club is built on Victoria Concordia Crescit and the Arsenal. The Arsenal, right? When they talk about the club, they always want to do it the right way. We're always the last ones to spend big money on players.
To start getting
until
our
we
hands
realise
dirty.
we're behind, and then we start doing it. We're always the last ones to pay big wages on players. Until we start paying big wages on players, we're doing it. There's no accident. The reason why we got this, we're getting to these finals is because we finally acted like a big club, spending big money on transfer fees. Declan, it goes back down, and then we're giving Saka 350 grand a week, or those guys. Before we used to give players like Aubameyang and Ozil 350 grand a week. No one else. And there was and that's why we weren't getting these players. We weren't getting these players, and now we are. And that's what I meant. We're finally acting like a big club. But what took us so long? Because of the Arsenal way of doing things. And then because we've been lobotomizing of this way of thinking, we look at Man City and Chelsea and went, and we're part of this stupid red cartel. And what I'm trying to say is that if we win either the league or the FA or the Champions League, I never, ever want us to go another 6 years without winning anything.
No.
Or another 9 years. Or another 15 years. Because look, we've got to hold the club to account and now say, this is the standards we should be keeping. And until we do that, we're a small, big club. We can change that by winning the league and the Champions League.
Yeah.
Where's the star on your shirt? Where's the star?
We ain't got one, man.
Well, let's go and bloody get one. Let's go and get one.
This is it. This is it. Do you know what, Kenny? You said it brilliantly, and that's been Arsenal's problem. We've always sat in the slow lane and then drifted into the middle lane and gone back into the slow lane. Now we're out in the fast lane. We've got to make sure that we stay there because this is where we're at. You know, the club and the players now have got the opportunity to put everything to bed and make sure that they go and do the job, because getting there is one thing, winning it is another thing. You know, we was hurt 20 years ago. I don't want to go through that pain again.
Facts.
And, you know, we're four games away from making history, but we're 2 games away from capitulation. People don't realise that. We lose Sunday.
Ice cold the way you said that.
It's suddenly back on. But the problem is, and I get it because all fans do it. We tend to live in the moment without looking. I'm a realist, right? And being a realist, there's certain people you upset. That's just facts of life. But you have to look out. You have to broaden the horizons. Yes, we're in the Champions League final, but we've got a big game Sunday.
Massive.
If that goes wrong, and Man City win on Saturday, and then they beat Crystal Palace, they're 1 point clear top of the league. They just need to win their remaining games. They win the league. So this is what I'm saying. As much as we're in the moment, you have to keep thinking. You have to keep thinking ahead all the time. because call it PTSD, call it what you like. This manager still needs to get over the line. It's brilliant that he's got to a final. He's done some brilliant things, but his one big problem is when he gets into the fast lane, he ends up back in the slow lane. And that's where we don't want to be. So
you think we've learned our mistakes? Sorry to cut you, D, as well, as you finish. Like, do you think we've learned our mistakes from the League Cup final in that regards as well?
Well, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I mean, one of the things that I bigged him up for last night is that he got his team selection. He was brave on his team selection.
Yeah.
I never thought Skelly was going to play in midfield last night. I thought he was going to revert back to Zubimendi and go back to his safe way of what he knew, but he didn't. He kept with Skelly. He kept with Miles Lewis Skelly in midfield. And he kept it to how we played against Fulham. So you're always hoping that he learns from his mistakes, and there are mistakes that he hasn't learned from. But that's what I'm saying. Until he actually goes and wins it, you still got to. None of us as
over the line as a football club.
See, the problem is none of us as Arsenal fans can actually turn around with confidence and say, "Yeah, we're going to win the Champions League." Who do you want, PSG or Bayern? Don't matter. We're going to win it anyway. Don't matter. We can't say that with confidence. Sure. Sunday, there's still question marks. Yeah, we should beat West Ham on paper. Are we going to go and beat West Ham? Are we going to get the job done in the Premier League? There's still that doubt. And this is why supporting Arsenal is such hard work, because you just never, ever know what's round the corner.
It's like you can see the sunshine and you can see the rain at the same time.
Exactly. Look, they've all got the opportunity to go and do something really, really, really magical. And you ain't going to get another opportunity. This is it. This is the opportunity, because next season's going to be harder. Liverpool are not going to stand still, whether they get a new manager in, new players. Man United are lurking now. They look like they're getting their act together. Man City will come again good. And none of these Everton have shown signs now. They're getting used to being at home at their stadium. That's going to be a quite hard place to go. So all of these teams are going to improve. That's why, this is why when we say the things we do say, me and Kenny and other people on channels, it's because we want the best. We want to keep raising the standards. We want the high levels. We don't want to live in the moment and go backwards. We want to live in the moment and go forwards. And that's why this is what we keep striving for. People can call it negative. They can call it what they like. It's not negative. It's just wanting the best. We moved to this stadium for nights like that, but we don't want nights like that to be a one-off. Now, if you want to support Arsenal and just trot along, but we got to the final. We got to the final. What are you talking about? We've improved. Yeah, but we haven't improved.
We have, but we need to win shit now.
Yeah,
man.
until you win it, until you actually win it, it's not an improvement, is it? This is what I'm trying to say. So
it's bittersweet. I'm tired of that now.
Listen, it's not being critical. It's being positive. It's wanting the best for Arsenal Football Club. It's raising the standards, and this manager now has got the opportunity to go and do something no other manager's done at the football club, and that's win the Champions League. I don't want to be turning up there to make the numbers up. You know what I mean?
This guy's got a fantastic point. Tyrone and Toba. You're right. We totally agree with you. The 5-4 score is not great, but the thing is, it was one of the things where both teams. The only way they were going to win was playing like that, because
it's chaos.
Because it play like the 5-4 weren't great, but you can look at it this way: either they both are bad defensively, or the reason why it was 5-4 because both teams went for the game, they're attacking.
And if you get chances, are you going to take them? Like Kenny said earlier,
it depends. Do you want to watch football like that? I do. Everyone else wants to watch football like that. But when they play Arsenal, they know full well that they're not going to be doing that. Bayern Munich, I've got to think about their high line when they play against us. Yes, and they know we're very good defensively, But what PSG are going to do when they play us, especially what they did last season, is that they know they're going to have to defend. They know that, Marquinhos, Mendes, and Hakimi, if he's playing.
I don't know if you can go man for man with them because
they know what Arsenal's about. They're not going to take those risks they took against each other. Bayern Munich won't take those risks against each other. So, yeah. But one thing they will do, and because they're both fresh at the moment, because their leagues are not particularly challenging, what we're going to find against both those teams is that, see how Atletico Madrid, they just passed and try and work the openings. Bayern Munich and PSG can do that, but they can also get players that run at us. Like, for instance, Diaz runs at you, Musiala runs at you. Kane plays deep, known full well.
Draws you out.
He drops deep. He knows that Elise is ready. They know that Diaz is ready. We've seen what has happened when with Paris Saint-Germain. You have to look at, Dembele, the way he runs with the ball, Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Zaire if he plays, and then little magicians in the midfield. Another thing as well, what they all do, really, what they do as well, because they're playing against Arsenal, they're going to be coming back. And they have that energy. So you understand, and they both went for it, and they're probably going to go for it today and take a risk. But when they play Arsenal, it'll be a different kettle of fish. So, Arsenal are a better team defensively, but normally, who wins? The best attack or against the best defence?
9 times out of 10, the best attack, and the one miracle is the defense, which I hope with 20 years, that's us, man. I want to ask you another question, because we always have this conversation, but with everything we've seen in the Prem and all this journey we've been on from the League Cup to Bournemouth and all that kind of stuff, like, if someone could offer you the Champions League, the Premier League, obviously we want both, but either one, which one are you lot taking?
I can't flip flop, can I? I can't flip flop. I've got a. Kenny wants Prems. I want the Champions League.
My dream.
We've just been speaking about our record in Europe. We've just been talking about. Listen, I totally get. I totally 101% get. I spoke to a guy in the concourse yesterday after the game when we was getting a drink after the game, and he was standing there, and I turned to him, and he was like, animated, and I said to him, "What do you want, Premier League or Champions League?" And he must have been in his early 30s, something like that. And he went, "Premier League, of course. What are you talking about?"
Right, man said, "Of course. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he, like as if I'm
we've got
stupid.
20 of them.
As if I'm stupid. Do you know what I mean? And I went, "You realise this football club's never won the Champions League ever in its history. All the great names that have graced this field, all the great managers, your uncles, your granddads, your nans, your aunts and uncles that have been sitting on the terraces at North London, never ever won the Champions League." Now, to me, I need to put that to bed. I need to put that.
When you talk about putting it to bed, obviously, I agree with you, and that our European record has been negligible. Also, you got to think about all the years we were in the Champions League under Arsene. And we only got to one final and one semi-final. So, of course, that's one of the things where we've had so many goes at it, and it hasn't materialised. And now we're that close. But I always look at the Premier League, and I think when you look at we compare ourselves domestically to Liverpool and Man United.
We're the third.
Yeah, and 20 leagues. They've got 20 each. And I look at the work we put in. I look at the near misses in 23, the near miss in 24, the no-show in 25, and I think the mentality and what these lads have been working for has been the Premier League. And as much as they're excited about the missing out of the Champions League, they're getting to the Champions League final and the prospect of winning. I mean, that's utopia. It will hurt them if they won't win this league. Especially with the work.
I agree. I agree.
What they've been put through results and maybe poor decisions and loss of form and injuries. So not winning this Premier League will hurt. And I want it for a personal level. The Champions League is always going to be a bonus, but the Premier League is something where
it's your bread and butter, and it's day in day.
Premier League. it's 60-40 now. It's 70-30 in our favour. We keep winning. Now, the Champions League 50-50. There's no guarantees in football, but when Man City were 9 points behind, it was ours for the taking. And then they got it back to the extent that they now got a game in hand. If we drop points again, it becomes 50-50. I think the Premier League is more gettable, but don't get me wrong. I'm not going to piss on your paw about the Champions League because I think it's a great achievement. I'm going to bottle what I saw yesterday in terms of I've got film of me celebrating. Yeah. I'm not taking away from any of you guys. But the fact is that the Premier League is for us.
I get that because I always go by what Brian Clough said. The great Brian Clough, you know, it's what you do week in, week out on the training ground. It's what you do. It's what you do on a Saturday afternoon, week in, week out for over 30 odd matches.
You know what? I get where you come from.
A cup final's a one-off. Anything can happen on one day. Whereas winning the league is something you do over so many days. And I've got
empathy for you. I've got empathy for you both.
But perhaps it's me being selfish. I've seen
it's definitely me being selfish.
I've seen
you should be selfish.
No. I've seen titles. I've seen Premier League titles. I've seen titles at Arsenal. So I've been down that route. I've never seen the champion. We've never seen the champion. We've never seen
another reason why I think
the European Cup.
You left out another reason, though, DJB.
Go on.
The reason you left that is because whenever teams had their era, they've always won the Champions League. Like Man United, the era under Sir Alex.
Yeah, I think so.
When he built that great side, including the kids, they went and won a Champions League in '99.
Yeah, look at the great Liverpool team.
Second team, and then he built a second great side with Cristiano Ronaldo, Rooney, Harrick, Rio Ferdinand. And they won a Champions League in 2008.
I got the two finals against a great Barca side. And
then obviously Joey Guardiola, he won the Champions League with this great Man City era. And obviously, you know, like Romain, with all the money he spent,
their thing was jamming.
2 trophies. So maybe I see what you're thinking. What you're saying is that now we're in this sort of
it all, doesn't it? All great teams have won titles and Champions Leagues.
Yeah, that's it.
All great teams have won titles and Champions Leagues.
We've been in it too long and not won it, man.
Yeah, but you feel under the great George Graham years, and under the great Arsene Wenger years, we don't have that to show for. But if you look at Liverpool under Rob Paisley, he won it 3 times. Joe Fagan won it in his own year.
Brian Clough with Nottingham Forest won the league and won the Champions
League.
Great
era for him at Liverpool. He's won one. Rafa, who they loved as much, won one. So I get where you're coming from. I've got great empathy for that.
It is a difficult. Listen, don't get me wrong.
It's a nasty question.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? But I just think, you know, I just think that great clubs like Arsenal and all the clubs that have gone, like the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, they've always added that Champions League to their successes. It's one of them things that we've never been able to do. You know,
and I hate Chelsea, but we should have their European.
And the fans, like away fans, champions of you'll never sing that and all of this.
Sing second again.
I know.
They also sing. But they say
great chance to win it.
Yeah, but don't you want to stop the second again?
Well,
if we won the champs, the one thing I'd say is I'd have to, when I'm done being excited, jumping about, I would have to address, you know, the elephant in the room, which is it would be 4 years, so potentially early as 5 years and counting, going back into what Kenny's saying. But Champions League, I'll be honest, it papers over a lot of crap.
I know what you're saying. If you get the Champions League final and
my heart can't do another Champions League loss.
But you know, someone put in the chat, what would Arteta want more? You know what I think he'll want more? And like I said,
Premier League.
No, he won't. Because of Arteta, the reason why I think I can't speak for Arteta, but Jonathan, you got to look at it this way. If Arteta is going to manage in England for the rest of his life, then of course it's the Premier League because it's prestigious. But if he wants to manage outside Europe and get the big jobs in Europe, which everyone thinks he's going to get,
no, he's going to get them.
You and I know the Champions League for continental across our continent, especially when you want to get the big jobs. You win the one with the big ears. You'll never be out of work. Rafa Benitez.
Shout out to Di Matteo.
Di Matteo, but Rafa Benitez actually won it.
Not only that,
the amount of work he get, the amount of times he dines out on that Champions League win, Klopp will get one of them. And I think when you look at Luis Enrique, no one talks about the titles he won at Barcelona and the titles he won at PSG. They're talking about the Champions League one last year.
Champions League titles.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Zidane,
it is the standout point on your CV, isn't it?
And Zidane as well. No one talks about the La Liga he won. They talk about he won the Champions League, and they talk about Ancelotti's Champions League.
Yeah,
and in Europe they talk about Sir Alex's Champions Leagues. So, and you can understand with Arsene Wenger why he stayed. In my opinion, he stayed longer than he needed to because he wanted to now go to Champions League.
I just think if a manager wins the Champions League, it's a big thing on their CV. It's a big thing on their CV. Domestic
100%.
leagues, it's good, but I think they're judged by winning both. But I
the only thing bigger than that is the World Cup.
It's a big step up for them if they win the Champions League. But then on the continent, the Champions League's everything. The Champions League and playing for their country is massive. Is more than their domestic league. You know, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and all of that. You give them the Champions League all day long. So we need to win it. We need to win this Champions League, and we need to win silverware, whether it comes in the form of Champions League or the Premier League. We need to get over the line and get it done. You know, simple as that. Because
facts.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I've just got a few worries on certain things with the players. You know,
talk to us, man.
Yeah, they've had to keep going and going, and they've had to go through a hell of a lot of high pressured games, and eventually it's going to catch up with them. I just hope it don't catch up with them on the 30th of May or this Sunday, because they've had to put in a lot of effort. Declan Rice has run his socks off again last night.
Well class.
You know, Gabriel, Saliba, all of these men. Gyökeres has had to work tirelessly.
Kelly, can we get this if we win the champs? You see what you did? Kelly, you gave up on Gyökeres.
No, it's not. It's not.
But that's not. We could have a. We can.
If Havertz played like
Gyökeres,
they'd be waxing lyrical.
You know what? After the season, if we're still doing one of these, you're not too busy to talk sport because of the World Cup. We could have a whole show about Gyökeres, and we'll both be right. We'll be right about. You'll be right about the goals he scored and the contribution, and we'll be right about his lack of technique and his lack of.
So should we judge a striker on their first touch or their last touch?
And the stuff that he's done, because and you the Gyökeres question, you're neither right. You're not both wrong. There is truth in both things.
He's a unique case.
He's a unique case because the simple reason is that you have to praise him, because I thought he was out of this world yesterday. Without a shadow of doubt, it's his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. And sometimes when you're a striker, your best performance is when you don't score. I talk about Igor Thiago, he scored 23 goals, isn't he, for Brentford? But his best performance was against us at the GTEC Stadium, where he completely beat up our defence.
He didn't take his chances.
Beat him up, roughed us up, but didn't score. There's times when Gilio Drogba, everyone talks about the goals he scores in finals, but some of his best games is when he's been an absolute.
His hold-up play is horrible.
Wasted, you know what I mean? And Gyökeres' best game in Arsenal shirt. Forget the 2 goals against Fulham. Forget the goals against Chelsea. Yesterday was his best game in Arsenal shirt. That's the best compliment I'm giving you.
100%. And that's what you need. If your goal scorer's not going to, if your goal scorer's not got the opportunity to score goals, then just be a nuisance. Be a nuisance and run the lines. But if you're going to be in them positions, make sure that you're getting your body between you and the defender, and you're doing something, and you've got an end product. And he had that yesterday. And they couldn't deal with him. They couldn't deal with him, and that's what you want to see. And if that continues, then we could have a decent striker on our hands. But what me and Kenny's been saying about Gyökeres is that we haven't seen it enough. We're in May. Listen,
but he's been good this last period, though, man.
listen, we're in May, and we are now seeing it in May with 3 games left. So
Could you say we're hitting the ground at the right time?
His performances up until then, has not been the standards you require to be a forward for Arsenal. Now, you can go on about tactics and all of that, and I agree. But as I said to you before earlier in the stream, it's amazing how he's come to light. Now we've taken Zubimendi out of midfield and put Skelly in midfield. Suddenly Gorkarez has got a new lease of life, which is all we've been asking for.
Arteta just needs to ask Zubimendi to pass the ball.
But it's only taken till May.
Yeah, but you know what it is with football, though? We saw this last season. Opportunity. One man's injury is another man's. One man's injury is another player's debut or another player's place in the team. Now, you look at last season, the emergence of Wanyeri, the emergence of Miles Skelly was down to injuries, and they took their shot and they took their chance. This situation is that we've had poor form coming into the Newcastle game, and obviously the game against Liverpool was basically put us all to sleep. So we're in a situation now. Zubimendi's out on his feet, right? Saka can only play in short bursts. Havertz is injured. Odegaard can't play every game. So that's
everyone's carrying knocks.
That's an opportunity for Miles Lewis-Skelly. Benjamin White is not our first choice right back. It's Timber, but he's injured. That's an opportunity for Benjamin White now.
Do you know what people haven't picked up on yesterday, though? No one's picked up on it. I'm sorry, but I thought Eze was poor yesterday. If I was to pick out a player,
my friend Duncan.
I thought Eze
being poor.
I thought Eze was poor, and which surprised me because Eze's been one of our best players recently. Yet, Champions League semi-final at the Emirates. He showed a little bit lazy, and I don't know. He was one player that I thought to myself didn't really step up to the plate what I thought he would have done. But credit to Ben White, he did.
He put in a shift after.
Ben White put a great.
I was nervous about him. He stood up too.
Ben White put a great.
And that's the thing. I've got this sort of saying, and I've spoken to my brother about it. I said that all those players left in the squad, you've got to remember one thing. Whilst we're dead in our feet, and whilst every game is going to be competitive, West Ham is going to be a humdinger. They do lose heart if you score against them, but once it's even Stevens, they're going to be a nightmare.
And they're fighting for their lives.
And quietly, despite what they say about the stadium, and DJB, you live in the area now, the last few games since January, the atmosphere at that ground has got a lot better because they're playing better.
It's been rocking, yeah.
And they've been rocking because they're getting results. They're determined to stay in the division. Like, for instance, they've got a lot of things off the pitch they're not happy with, but as you all know,
they want to keep in the Premier.
Sorry, DG, put your hands over your ears.
Go ahead, man.
And put your hands over your ears. David Solomon is in deep shit. Karen Beatty's gone.
Yeah.
So the only way is up for them, because you know what I mean? So they're going to think of the situation, right. A week ago, Spurs were going down, and Spurs won the last 2 games.
Yeah.
West Ham drew. Now, West Ham didn't lose to Brentford. You still would look at both teams' form, despite West Ham fans being negative. You think, right, the momentum's still with us. We've been playing better football, but Spurs got a new lease of life. So West Ham are going to go into this game and give everything because they've got no choice. There's no give-me's. They know Arsenal's going for the title. Bowie's going to have to run his nuts off. On a counter-attack, you've shown what they like for a counter-attack. And even set pieces, where we're not great at set pieces at the moment, they're good at set pieces. So it's one of those things where it's going to be a horrible atmosphere. Horrible, horrible atmosphere. And you know what? I can't wait. I'm at the game. I love it.
Yeah,
you know what, Mike? DG, you know what I like at football? I like atmosphere. I like fans telling me.
As you
calling
should.
me,
Don't celebrate too much, though, Kenny. We're going to get the police round, though, all right?
I know, but last year when we played West Ham, there was one guy who was calling me fat. I loved that.
Yeah.
He was calling me fat, and he was
Very brave man.
Very brave.
Now, everyone knows that I'm
Say it from a distance.
chin. How can I be fat? But he thought because I was like that, he thought I was fat. There's one guy telling me, and he was built like Tintin, man, to come and meet him outside the ground to give me an hiding. And he was built like Tintin.
Yeah.
That's how I like about football. I like edge. That's how
Exactly.
football should be.
But people are saying about, look, I know West Ham are down there, but they've been in decent form, really. I mean, I know they got
And they
beat
play embarrassed
away at
against Brentford.
I know they got beat by Brentford, but up until then, their form is not too bad. So this is not a give me. This is one of the games that I sort of marked at the start of the season, where if it does go down to this game, this could be a potential banana skin. But
Jamie Carragher thinks if we win the game, it's over because he thinks that.
I think so.
I can't lie, I'm subscribing to that. I know anything can happen, but I think we beat West Ham.
He believes that Burnley's a give me, and that Crystal Palace will be in the Europa League final. And that,
I think if we win Sunday, we win the league. That's what
I think Glasgow ain't going to play a big team against us.
I think that. I think if we win Sunday, we win the league.
Do you think it goes to the last day? Because say hypothetically,
I'm hoping it goes to
win all their games.
I just want it to go to Burnley. I don't want that last day. So
I hope Brentford take points, but Bournemouth's the one where I think that's.
You hope. Say if Man City get their act together and Gay doesn't pass the ball Gay doesn't pass the ball to their striker, and they actually put their chances away, and it gets to the last day. They got Aston Villa at home, who could have been celebrating
they're on the beach,
Europa League,
and we've got Palace away.
We've got Palace away.
Glasnow's last game.
That's his last game.
But Areola, Bournemouth, that's his last game.
Yeah,
it could go to the last day.
Oh, yeah, but what's bigger? What's bigger for Glasgow? His last Premiership game against the team trying to be champions, or the Europa Conference League final, which I think
obviously the final, but you never know. The fans might just match the energy and the players are on it. It might just be one of those
big
games.
drums. Those big drums.
You know what Sellers Park is.
It might be
Kenny, you know what Sellers Park is like. When that's rocking, it's rocking. And
that's a horrible ground to go.
I've been there twice when we got absolutely mullered. I was there in 2017 when Salinas was manager. When Vieira was manager, 2022. They absolutely, and both it was a Monday night football. It was both Monday night football.
I'm not being funny.
2017, when Sanchez made a mistake and come up to the fans to try and cheer, we swore at him, said, "You're not fit to wear the shirt." And Bellerin started crying. 2022, when I was at when I really hated Arteta, I don't like him now. But I'm just being honest.
He's winning you over, man.
See the context. See the context. Forget about Arteta. I'm just talking about that time in 22 when they beat us 3-0 up with Vieira as a manager. Monday Night Football again. Both times that stadium was rocking. Yeah. Rocking. Tell you one thing.
It is. So listen, I don't want it to go to
Nice food down there.
This is what I'm hoping. I think City will beat Brentford. I think Bournemouth is going to be a real tough play. Like us going to West Ham could be a potential banana skin. I think City going to Bournemouth could be one for them. And if that happens and we beat West Ham, then yeah.
Will Bournemouth play football against them? Will Bournemouth play football against them?
I think they will.
Surely they'll be rocking.
They're fearless.
Last home game, they're in a good moment.
Yeah, they're fearless. They can get Champions League, can't they?
That's where you hurt City, when you're actually on it and you run them ragged.
My theory is, I'm not being pessimistic. I always believe, and I believe that for Arsenal, there's a reason why a team's going for the league and why the reason's going, a team's going for like Europe. There's what I mean in a nice way. We have to assume that that every game's got something on it.
100%. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you we need to win all our games. And
I think the players are going to be on it, but you can still play well and still go with the right attitude. But if that team gets all the breaks and they defend for their lives and they go up and they defend like Trojans, it's a different game, isn't it?
They're a
The West
funny,
Ham-
yeah.
West
that's
Ham-
their open game, man.
We
They need
got
to
a
attack
very
us, surely, no?
bipolar. We got a very bipolar kind of relationship with West Ham. You think about since 2023,
Like,
They-
here, innit?
they cost
We've
us a title in 2023. 2024, they won at the Emirates after knocking us out of the League Cup, and then we beat them 6-0. Last year, we beat them 5-2 in a bloody good game of football, by the way. It was.
We've had a couple good outings there in the afternoon.
But they came to the Emirates and won 1-0.
Yeah, no, that was sickening, man. That was sickening.
So
They
it's kind of-
have got, the trouble is with West Ham, they have got this horrible habit when the chips are down,
They start doing madness.
causing a shock
Yeah.
with big teams. I remember when they turned over Man United team once, you know, and
They stopped Man United
when
winning the
they
league twice, didn't they, DJB?
Yeah, but they've stopped Man United winning the league
Okay.
twice, and they've just got this habit. Like they've gone to Stamford Bridge and won. They've gone to Spurs and won against the odds. They've just got this horrible way of doing things sometimes, you know, and it just worries me that they've got so much on Sunday. They know if they beat. Look, let's flip it the other way. If we win Sunday, we win the league. If West Ham win, they will look at that and go in, right. If we can go and get a result at Newcastle, we're staying up.
You know, we sort of
We're staying up.
Good point.
If we sort of segue into like the relegation thing, two things. I think Unai Emery's team selection at Spurs was just
Diabolical, man.
Diabolical. It's not because
Shocking.
the intent, because you know why I
The
said
integrity of the Premier League was damaged.
You know, I said the Dan show. The Dan show, and the Gooner. I don't know if you watched it, but I said if I needed a life-saving operation, and Jadon Sancho and Ross Barkley were performing,
I knew he was going to get at Jadon.
You know what? You know what I say to DJB, bring me a pen and paper. I'm writing me will because I ain't trusting him. I'd rather die than trust those two.
I'd send Nonny Madueke in, Kenny. Don't worry.
Well, yeah. Well, give me a notepad. I'm right.
I'd send Nonny Madueke in with his England shirt.
You know what I mean? You couldn't get two motivated players than those two. You can't. And then all of a sudden, you watch Chelsea get battered by Nottingham Forest. What makes you think that everyone says, oh, they're going to try and get Spurs. I hate Spurs. Do you really think?
I think Spurs are more likely to win than Chelsea.
Yeah, based on that
at this moment in time, I want to be wrong.
I really apologise. Based on that crap I saw on Monday, on Backline Monday.
I think they'll beat Chelsea. I can't see Spurs dropping many points now.
Yeah, because they
unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say is that he's got them running. He's got them running and shaking their leg.
He's got a bit of a belief about him. I honestly believe they'll beat Leeds. I think Leeds have done their season now, and all credit to them. All credit to Leeds United.
And I feel, you're right. And I feel like the Chelsea game is a situation where, again, what if Chelsea gets smashed by Man City in a final?
Yeah, which they will do.
Chelsea, if they beat Man City,
it's a good point. The FA Cup's
they're gonna want to win their last game of the season against Tottenham. But then again, one thing that keeps us honest, Chelsea really hate Tottenham.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is
by their players feeling that.
Yeah, but I'm not too funny. That crowd won't have it. Won't have it. Won't allow it to happen.
I just hope. No, I agree. I just hope the emotions don't get to Declan Rice on Sunday.
Yeah, but you know, a question I need to ask you guys.
He's played them before, man. He's calm.
Let me ask you this question because I know it's your show.
Go ahead, man.
Do we really want Spurs relegated? Because what I'm trying to say, the reason why I'm asking that question is that I hate the club with passion. But won't you miss the North London derby? Would you miss the North London derby, though, DJ?
No,
DG,
it's not my derby, Ken. Man United is, and you know it is.
Think about
Kenny, your mate. I hear the logic, but they got to go, man.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it'd be fun.
There'll be less traffic as well if they're not in the Premier.
Yeah, it'd be fun. But until the fixtures come out next month and you don't see Spurs in the fixtures, how are you going to
one of the reasons why I want to see Spurs relegated? I just want to see.
We'll play them in the FA Cup or something. Forget that, Kenny.
Yeah, but I'm missing. DJB, you see me, DJ. You know how much I love the North London derby.
You love it. Yeah.
You know the excitement I get.
You can't
Derby
get sent
day,
away,
right?
Kenny. You got to
You
get
see how-
relegated.
I feel
Yeah.
young again. I feel
There's
young
other
again when you play
derbies.
Tottenham.
You'll have
Exactly.
to,
Yeah,
you'll
man.
have to
That's
have
gone,
the
man.
Arsenal Chelsea. You'll have to fall in love with that.
Well,
And you'll have to
Yeah,
it was
man.
go Millwall away. It was go Millwall away.
Why Spurs, man?
Right,
Yeah,
DJ,
Arsenal,
DJ,
West Ham. You'll have to fall in love with that. My derby's Arsenal, Man United, so I've got no problems with Spurs
DG,
going down.
DG. Instead of being in a TalkSport studio with Blondie and the other posh dude,
Sam.
how about you come Millwall away and be a man? Put
Yeah.
some hairs in your chest. I'll protect you. I'll look after you.
Hey,
some
Kenny,
airs
with you, I
on
feel
your
safe.
chest.
I need about 2 more Kennys, and then we're good, man. Like you lot can be security. With you, I'm going.
Oh,
I'm going.
Millwall is hostile, but a lot of those Millwall
100%.
fans are great fans, man. They get a lot of bad publicity. I hope they get up Millwall.
And you
I
can
really
see Spurs Millwall next season. That could be elite.
No,
elite.
if Millwall come up, when Millwall come up, it could be like Tottenham versus Lincoln City.
I just want that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Lincoln have got promoted.
Watching X's watch along like Spurs versus Lincoln City.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
Come on, man.
He's the funniest man I know. But you know what? I do think that because of the momentum, because they got the new manager, you never know. He'll get something out of them.
Yeah, you will.
If Leeds try, then I think.
Well, that's what Dean's saying, isn't it? I don't know. Like they're cool. Like they're not going to come out.
You say that momentum's a thing in football.
True.
You don't want to get a situation where they get sucked in when they don't have to, because not the Forest are winning. All right.
When you get complacent, you can still go.
Yeah. And say West Ham and Spurs start getting some sort of form. It'll be too close. It'll be too LSD, the Spurs fan. I'm not a Spurs fan, you silly man.
He's glass clown, man.
I hate the club with passion, but you know what's happening, right? Is that with Leeds, they've been playing some beautiful stuff. The only game they've lost
Leeds been playing really well.
Chelsea.
They just shat the bed in the final.
Yeah, and then Carrot Lewis scoring goals, Okonkwo scoring goals, and Mencha. I can't wait to that game from a neutral point of view. You know, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's going to be a big
I'll always
game.
be White Hart Lane, man.
Yeah, but you know the situation is, right? I've had Spurs fans come up to me. I was speaking to a Spurs fan about 2 hours ago. You know what he said to me? He goes, "Are you going to do us a favour against West Ham?"
Oh, they're all starting to say that. Yeah, shame.
You know what I said to them? I said, I actually remember when Man City scored their second goal, you were cheering.
Oh, man.
And I walked off and left them with it.
Yeah.
They want us to do them a favour. But 2 years ago,
do you know what?
They
Right?
want to lose.
We should be in a position, guys. Let's be brutally honest now, right? We're sitting here sweating over a Premier League title. This should have been done and dusted. This should have been
100%.
This should have been done. We should be sitting here now, enjoying looking forward to the Champions League final, knowing that the Prem's in the bag, right? And on that note, we should also be sitting here now going, right, the Premier League's done. Let's play your Max Dowmans against West Ham's. Let's play your Lewis Skelly. Let's go and play your Salmon. Let's go and play Mosquera centre half. Let's go and play. Let's go and play someone else from the.
I think Mikel will do it.
21s up front. Let's go and put a real reserve team out and just like. But we wouldn't do that.
I don't think he'd do that against West Ham. That's suicidal, man.
I know, but can you imagine if we already won the title, right? Part of you would be cheering West Ham goals against us, wouldn't you?
1,000,000%. As much as I don't want to, I'm shameless. 1,000,000%.
Because that's what he did to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if we lose, we win. Hey, that's a
man like Jamie O'Hara. We're doing a watch along wearing his Man City shirt, didn't he? And all this.
Yeah.
Now he wants us.
It's a win-win, I guess, because if we win, obviously the obvious happens. If we lose, it's obviously sad, but indirectly it helps the Hammers. But yeah, no, Kenny West Ham will go.
If we lose, we can lose the title. If we draw or lose, we can lose the title.
We can't draw. There's no such thing as a draw or loss. We have to win.
Yeah,
we've somehow been given another chance.
Exactly, but that's the thing. Spurs fans want a bit of help, and we're helping ourselves. Stuff you lot, we're helping ourselves.
Because this is our final. I know we've said this all the time, but this is our final chance now. Like I thought the league was going. Somehow it's still here. I don't know how this season's been crazy.
It's been long. Wearing. It's taken a lot out of everyone, hasn't it? This season, it's so up and down.
DJB, as your back manager, what's your back manager think of you with all these games you've got to have to play?
Oh, exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Don't like you that much, does he?
No, it's crazy. It's absolutely madness. But Listen, I thought it was done against Bournemouth when we lost, and it should have been really.
And Wolves away.
And it should have been really. But listen, we've got another opportunity, but I'm not. There's still part of me thinking,
oh, that's us.
That's the problem. I can't until it's mathematically safe, until we've actually done it. I've still got to be open-minded, fellas. I can't.
Look, a couple of weeks ago,
right?
You know what it was? A couple of weeks ago, before we played Newcastle, we were 100% sure we would drop points in at least one of those games because of how badly we were playing. Because remember, it was just an eve of the very, very boring draw with boring. I think boring draw with Lisboa. We went to Man City. They beat us. It was a good game. But they were a better team. And then you're in a situation when you saw Saka still not back from injury. This player not looking fit. Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and you thought, you know what?
It's done.
It's done. And then all of a sudden, we win against Newcastle, and the pressure goes back on Man City. How they let that? Because they didn't really smash Burnley and showed any authority. And then we played Fulham, and I think we played good football.
It's the performance more than the obvious with the 3 points.
But when you look at where we are now, you can't really change the team. You've got to play the same team because there's momentum.
That's what I'm on, if I'm honest.
Because I don't see any reason why Miles Lewis-Skelly can't play against West Ham. Why?
He can capitulate for Calafiori, the only thing. Maybe if he was fit somehow.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Not every day is Christmas, especially with that team, because But if it works hard and works hard, who knows? But one thing with playing Bukayo Saka with that team, we've got to win that game in the first half, or because you don't want a situation where Bukayo Saka's playing in 90 minutes. Well, I don't think he's got 90 minutes in his legs. We've got to play him in short bursts.
What have you been doing?
To be honest, and you probably ain't going to like this, I think he's going to be fully fit for England because of the fact that we're playing him in short bursts. He's getting all that rest, and he'll be good to go. Declan Rice will be, Jesus Christ, he'll be too knackered to play a part in the World Cup, in my opinion.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's mad. You lot are saying all of this. There's a lot of thinking. I wanted to ask you a lot about Mikel Arteta. Like, if he wins the Prem and doesn't win the Champs, are you keeping him regardless as well?
Well, common thing is it fair to ask them? Look, I still think like the players eventually are going to need your voice, because I think when you're in a situation with a club, it's not a 22-year. It's not a 22-year job. It's not a 26-year job with Sir Alex and Arsene or Brian Clough or Samat. It's probably tops just under 10-year job.
7-year each.
Yeah, Klopp couldn't do the 10 years at Liverpool. He was exhausted.
Emotionally drained.
And you look at Joey Guardiola. I'm hearing that he says it's going to be his last season, whatever happens. So it's going to be in a situation where, regardless of whether Mikel Arteta's earning 15 million a year or £5 million a year, the money's not an issue, because if you're getting paid that much, you could definitely take a 2-year break from football. If you're getting paid £50 million a year, you're not going to sign on. You're not going to sign on a Medina Road job centre, are you? It's true. You're not going to go. You're not going to.
You're not lying.
You're not going to scratch it at Medina Road, or scratch it at one of the job centres on the way road, or go to Upper Street and scratch it and sign on a £50 million a year. You can afford to take that break. And I think it's
a big decision.
I think there's going to be and then the players as well. They're going to need a new voice. So I do think that, Mikel, if he wins something, of course, common sense says it.
I can't even lie. If we sack him, who do we get?
No, you always going to get.
I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm genuinely asking.
That if you get Francesc Fabregas, you have to accept there's going to be a process, because he's going to overhaul our play.
Yeah, I want something like Luis Enrique, which we
So if you watch
commentated
Francesc Fabregas and you want to see
over the
good
line
football,
business.
to win with Cesc Fabregas is going to take probably another. It's going to be a 6-year process to actually start
More
winning.
phases, isn't it, Kenny? And I can't go through that again, man.
Yeah.
I can't
The
go
next
through
manager
it.
has to deliver, bro.
If
See,
you
the
get
thing is,
We have to deliver full stop.
Yeah, say Mick Arteta says, "I can't do anymore. I'm knackered. You know, I've put so much in the season." You get Luis Enrique. You've got to give him money to spend.
We've spent peace, respectfully,
No,
and I'm not trying to make it about Noni and Kaya, but that's over 100 million.
What I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is he's going to want money every season. Now, Arsenal, we spend money one season and don't spend much money the next season because of PSR and the tax bill. He
and
doesn't.
the stadium refurb.
The
The thing is as well, though. Look, everyone knows my opinion on the manager. You know, I just feel that sometimes you have to have that change, and I think with modern football now, the managers have to put so much into it. Can he go again? Can he do it again? Like if they give him another 2-3 years, is he going to be able to keep this intensity again? And you know, it may be that we might need a change to freshen it all up. As Kenny says, new tactics, new ideas, new way of playing. You know, I know it's difficult to get your head round, and I know fans don't want to hear it, but sometimes success can bring you also failure. You know, it can bring you failure. I mean, look at Liverpool now. We don't want to be in that position where we've kind of won a Champions League or won a Premier League and we've just gone, oh, that's it. And then we just sit back on it and then we just fade away. And then it's another 2, 3, 4 years where we don't win nothing. Sometimes you have to strike while the iron's hot. And if that means changing the manager, then so be it. But he himself might think, I'm done now. I've done all.
And he's
what
got
I
a year
can.
left, regardless.
I've reached my potential. I've done everything I can. So at the end of next season, he might walk away. He might take a break from it.
It'd be nearly 8 years in a job.
Yeah.
If he next season be 8 years in a job, I just think the modern man. You only have to look at the fact is that Zidane won all that, mate. He hasn't been Real Madrid manager since 2018.
Yeah, managers do move on, even when they've won things. Just because they've won something, you don't have to keep them at the club. You know, clubs do need to freshen up every now and again. You know.
Yeah, but I think Mikel, because of the regard he's held on by a club, I think Mikel would make that decision. Because at the end of the day, he would have looked at the situation. Can I do it? Will I be able to do it? But if Mikel was to sort of leave Arsenal anytime, I suppose the positive thing about Mikel is that he's left a situation where at least he can go to bed at night and say, you know what, yeah, I'm very rigid in my tactics, but at least I've got my team. So I've left my team with a possibility of winning the European Cup.
We're in a much better state than when he walked in. He can say that.
You can't take away from it. He has left the club and in a very ambitious state and in a good state. And if he wins the league, it'll be entirely his triumph. It's because he's done it his way. You can't take it away from him.
No, exactly. No.
So what do you lot make of this then? Because as we've been talking about it, someone put it in the chat, and I've just gone on Twitter, and Romano said, "I understand Arsenal are planning to offer Mikel Arteta a new contract in the summer. Plan already decided in March, regardless of the end of season results. Arteta wants to focus on titles now, but in love with the Arsenal project and looking forward to talks deal on soon." What do you lot make of that then? Because surely, if anything, that you could argue Arteta's ambitious, he might be stuck in his ways. Maybe the club aren't as ambitious.
Well, yeah, but you know what happens in football. Every success, whenever you win something, the plan is to keep on winning, and you want to keep the manager that wins trophies. So it happens. Arsene Wenger, when we used to win the league at Arsenal, the amount of the golden handshake. You know, when we won the league in '91, everyone's talking about Arsenal going to dominate, and the same with Alex Ferguson. It's a normal thing to do, isn't it? I'm sure when Slot won the league last year, he was offered he was offered the golden ticket.
Yeah.
And I think the club would want to do that, because they're thinking, well, he's brought us into that situation.
Mm.
We don't want a situation where we're going to have to get another man, and he may not be the same. The players might not like him, so they're going to want to keep the continuity. But the thing is,
go on, Kenny. Sorry, mate.
But you think about it, I don't think Mikel Arteta will want a 5-year or 6-year contract. He'll probably just want another 2 years.
I think he gets
because of the possibility of fatigue and mental fatigue, and whether he can take the team as far as he can go. Because, as I said before, there's no evidence. The only manager that is outstaying his welcome at a club is Simeone. Sorry, when was the last time he won anything?
Oh, Simeone's definitely. This is what I'm trying to say.
Second half, he had no idea.
This is the reason why I want to keep it rotating and keep the momentum going. And sometimes when someone outstays their welcome, that you lose that momentum and you start going backwards. And this is my biggest fear. It's taken him a hell of a lot to get this far. It's taken him £1 billion, 7 years, processes, phases. And we're still in a Champions League final. We're in a Champions League final, but we haven't won that. If we don't win that, then it's question marks again. Right, okay, we've got to the final, but he's not been able to get over the line. If we don't win the league, it's like definitely, has he not won the league? Has he not done this? Has he not done that? If we do win it, can you go again? Because I don't want to be in a position with Arsenal, and no Arsenal fan should be in this position where we just accept, right, we haven't won the Champions League, never won the Champions League. We've won that. Let's put that to bed. We've got to go and win it next year.
But
that's difficult, but retaining stuff is going to be difficult. And I just don't think he's got it long term to keep retaining it. And their style of play as well. It's not. I personally think it's not sustainable long term. That's how I look at it.
One of the reasons why you always talk about Arteta is when a manager's in the job for a long time, he has to build. If a team breaks up, he's got to build another one. You have to shake Sir Alex Ferguson's hand for the amount of teams he's built to challenge in Europe and abroad. But in Liverpool built teams, Mikel's in a situation where he's going to have to build another team. I don't think a modern football manager's got that in them to build another team. And the reason why I don't think they got it in them is because of the fact that people just think that because you've got money, if I kick you in the nuts, it won't hurt you because you get paid £15 million a year. If I stepped on your pinky toe, you won't go out because you get £15 million a year. People who get paid that money still get tired.
They're human beings.
Still get under pressure. They still get ill. They're still unable to cope with the job. And because you pay £50 million a year, that's the thing. The pressure is going to be really great. I mean, we can only go by examples. We saw it with Klopp. Why? And he explained why he left. And we're going to see it with Guardiola. And there were times this season where Mikel looked like a ghost.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of times in this season where he's been found wanting. There's a lot of times,
and that's why I admire him, because he picked us up and we've gone again. But like Kenny's saying, for me, sorry to cut you, DJB, it's like it's got to be mentally taxing, and it's like a double whammy in that. Obviously, as a club, we've won stuff, but I've never felt like we're the most ambitious. We want to build, we want to do domination, and for me, I believe that's got to come from a club more than a man. Like, as great as Pep is, and his CV speaks for itself, City wanted to get into this realm. I know Arsenal would like to win. I don't know if they're dying to win like that. So it's like you've got Arteta, and I do think his ambition's there, but he's stumbled along the way. He's made mistakes. I know Berta's coming. I guess the short of it is, I think it would more have to come from Arteta and Berta, or whoever is the manager and the director, to just pull off a miracle. Kind of like what Simeone's done to a degree. But that's me.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's got to come from within. But the starting point is always winning trophies. And at the end of the day, he has to win trophies. And this is what you judge by. This is what footballers are judged by. It's like Declan Rice. He's in a Champions League final. If he wins that, he's he's gone up levels. You know,
There's so many
whether
agendas
you like it or not, it's all about winning, not competing.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
It's
Especially
all
at
about winning and not
size.
competing. You know, your little boy don't come off happy after a school sports day coming third.
Hey, now they do. They all get medals now. They all get medals now.
Yeah, to be fair, you're both right. Kenny's also right. They all
get medals now these days, isn't it?
You know?
Can you imagine?
The fact that he'll probably come off and the fact that people will probably call him world class is either there or there. But you know where I'm coming from, you know.
Fair.
But listen, it is what it is. It is a tricky one, but eventually, the club can make that decision. If the club thinks he's the right man for the next 3 years, only time will tell.
And that's my thing.
I've got my own opinions. I don't think it is the right. I don't think it's the right thing to do. If the club think it's the right thing to do, then you've got to die by your sword if it all goes wrong. Simple as that.
I'm with both of you in a sense that, like, I think you do have to be open to all possibilities from going competitive to that. I think Arteta is more likely to say, do you know what, I'm going to... I guess my point, you could argue, like, let's just say Arteta either next season when his contract's up or in a couple of weeks, in fact, says, do you know what, God forbid, you know, hopefully it's happy as Larry and we've won and new deals and whatnot. But if it goes left, or even if we win and he says, I want to go, if he says, yeah, I need to take a mental break like what Pep's done, the club have to know the targets they're going for. So I'm not too sure, man. It's a techie one, man.
What I don't want is another process. You know, even if it's just a short-term fix for 2 years, an elite manager comes in for 2 years. I don't want another process.
If you're getting Francesco Fabregas,
it is another process.
Morally, if he's gone to the club and they said that he wants to overhaul the way we play, you can't expect him to win. You would want him to win, a League Cup and FA Cup. But in terms of winning the Champions League and the thing, it's going to take time. He's not going to, because at the end of the day, he's new to management. He's with Como.
We can't let the set piece coach leave as well. I'll say that much.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Gabriel Heinze deserves a lot of credit, man.
Fact.
Yeah, he's. I think
unsung hero there.
That's one thing Mikel's done really right is get those characters in. But you know what? Yeah, we're only going to know if they're good at their jobs if we win the next two trophies.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not flying.
It's harsh. It's so harsh, but.
Yeah. But I mean, look. Let's throw the question. Let's put a question to you, DG.
Go on.
If Luis Enrique showed his hand that he wanted to be Arsenal's football manager next season, who would you take? Who would you go with?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, if you win me something, I'm sorry.
Who would you go with? Enrique or Arteta?
I'm going with Enrique because he's better. It's like I like your. I like Bukayo Saka. I love Bukayo Saka. But if you're milestone for us,
what I'm saying is, it's not being. You're not being negative.
Sorry,
only if you have a situation like that because he's just better than Arteta.
Two seconds, guys.
I'm on that.
I've got Jez at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we've got Jez at 6.
Oh man, you lot are overrunning, man.
Yeah.
Let me let you get out of here, people.
I'm really sorry.
It's been long, man. You
too long. Sooner, man. I feel bad. Why did you not say anything?
Because guess what? This conversation is flowing, and you are going over time because we're enjoying ourselves. That's what happens.
Oh man,
you should know that by now.
Big up to you,
Jez. Big up Kenny Ken, and obviously DJB, man. It's been a great reunion, man. Let me let you get out of it. Before you lot go, where can people find you? Go on, DJB.
Arsenal Huddle. I'm on the mingle tonight. Me and Normski. Come along and join in.
What time?
We're about 10 o'clock. Then Kenny Ken tomorrow, extra time show, and then I do my Sunday sit back, going over the weekend's football and all the talking points. Mainly Arsenal, but we also touch on other teams' relegation and all of that. So yeah, come along and join in. It's all good.
Kenny,
I'm on with Jez right now, and then I'm with Dan tonight at 10 o'clock. So yeah, so
you'll have a lot of "I told you so" on there tonight.
Really, because I'm going to shut
them
down.
No.
I'm going to because if they want to play that game, I can play that game.
You know the game they're going to play, man. You know the game.
But you know what the situation is, and then tomorrow with you, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not Friday's a great day for a rest from podcasts.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, Chinese and a rest.
Stick
I
your
don't
feet
know,
up,
mate.
man. We've got a league title to win. Put the Champions League
try
final
this,
on ice.
mate.
DG, it's been brilliant, my friend.
No,
good
it's
luck,
been you
brilliant.
lot make
good, luck
the
on
show,
your,
man.
good luck on your talk sport, but I don't know how you don't get through so many paracetamol with that.
There's
Yeah,
times
You
when
got
I
like,
hear
I've been doing mental stuff.
Man.
Like you just got to be able to just block it out.
but
No, good.
What's your favourite, DJB?
You're refreshing on there, DG.
there's a
Big up.
couple of
Appreciate
people,
you lot,
there's
man.
a couple of people you work with that I'll strangle one, and one of them.
Let me let these lot get out of here before Kenny starts
Spurs-
naming the
Spurs
people
girl,
he
what?
wants to
Don't, because you're. Listen, he can't get involved in that. All I'm saying, DG, is that you'd probably do a better job on the right than Nonny Madwake. Put it that way. Bring
There
your
we
drinks.
go again. All right, we're gonna have to go.
Big up, people.
Big up.
Bless.
Wow. Kenny, subscribe to them. Follow Kenny on Instagram. Follow DJB on YouTube. Pick up the chat as well. Without you, man, mods, members, everything.